Flexing the definition because we got to see something in AI of a weird transition I just said, which is what would Naruto characters look like if they was 80 years old, right? So, I always put the original video in the description below, but we're going to give a scale, all right? I'm going to be rating old people. What is going on in this world? I'm rating old people. So, before we get started, I'm also an artist, okay? So I use my photograph as reference and I transform them into illustrations. So these are the, few illustrations that I've done over here, from Baki to Attack on Titan and all that good stuff. So if you're interested in wanting me to draw your favorite anime character, even if it's Marvel or DC, just put it in the comment section below, right? That really helps out with this channel's algorithm. Right, you gotta praise the algorithm, apparently. That's just how it is, all right? That's how it is. So, without further ado, let's dive into this, shall we? I always like to play with those transitions, but let's go. Let's turn off this dank music, and let's do it. It's Naruto as an old man. First of all, they will not get as detailed, okay? They will not, because if it's in animation, they're not gonna get this detailed as far as all those extra lines of wrinkles. But this is still rather funny. AI knows how to capture the essence of someone who's really old. This don't even look like 80 years old. My God, Naruto, you look like you're damn near 100. You are in the triple digits, all right? You only got a few days left, all right? 9 tails, more like barely 1 tails at this point. So yeah. Very extremely old. I would say this is more like 100 years old. You're pushing 100. So I'm going to give this one a solid. I can't give it a high score. It's getting close to old. Beyond old. I'm going to give this one a solid, wrinkly 6 out of 10. Just because, So. My God, Sasuke. My goodness. That he just it don't even look like he's old. It looks more like he got hit with poison. Doesn't it look like that? He got hit with poison. Like, oh, God, it just got me. Oh, la, la. Like, no, sir. AI, and this don't even look like it's Naruto art style. It looks extremely overly detailed with the lines. Like they will not do that in the midst of animation. But nonetheless, I'm going to give this one a lower score, which is almost gave it a 4, a 3 out of 10. Oh, look how cute that looks. See, anime don't go as hard as making old female characters. They just, for some reason, they just don't. You always see a lot of wrinkly old males, but females, not so much. So AI was just kind of like, should I make her still look beautiful even though she's really old? Here's the thing that throws me off, right? Normally when people get old, especially men, women, doesn't matter about the gender, your hair gets gray, right? So what hair product is she using? She's constantly dyeing her hair pink, because at that point your hair should be practically white, especially if you are 80 years old and has some streaks of pink. So it doesn't really look like she is she's definitely old, but it just looks off. It still has an uncanny look to it. AI is struggling with getting that accurate. Like, where's the streaks of white? The wrinkles with the shadow right here just looks really, it doesn't need to be shadowy right here. You got the lines, right? So the shadow shouldn't be as heavy and bold. But yeah, I do appreciate the wrinkles on the neck that do happen. But yeah, overall I'm gonna give this one a 5 out of 10. Oh, that is funny. Old Rock Lee, get out of my lawn! Get out of my lawn. That is hilarious. Okay, I can see Rock Lee looking like this at 80 years old. It's unfortunate with Bruce Lee passing away at a very, very young age, so we never get the chance of seeing how he would look today, right? He'll be extremely old, like at least 80s, right? Because Jackie Chan is what, 70, right? He's like 71. And Bruce Lee was a couple of years older than him, so he had to be at least 80 years old by now, right? Like, like Chuck Norris age, pretty much. In fact, how old is Chuck Norris? I don't really know. Alexa, how old is Chuck Norris?
Chuck Norris is 85 years old.
Damn. I guess, yeah, I was right. So Bruce Lee will have to be at least in his 80s. So, yeah. Yeah, so this is the closest thing. 80-year-old Rock Lee. I will give this a 7 out of 10. Because I could see Rock Lee looking like this, still keeping the black hair. You just keep dyeing your hair black. He don't have too much wrinkles because he keeps himself healthy. So let's continue. Dang, Shikamaru. Dang. I just, when you have one of those moments where you could just feel like you've been through a lot. I could feel that with this AI Shikamaru being old. Yeah, nah, this definitely, he just got that wisdom. He's just tired of stuff, but he's still here. He's going through it, weathered. Yeah, nah, I'll give this one a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. Shikamaru. Hinata looks so creepy. It's like, when you see one of those Disney films or an anime with the old lady, like, make sure I get the gems. Like, it's just that's what it reminds me of, like, I'm here to get the gems. Yeah, I need to take it away from you. She's all laughing like a witch. Anyway, creepy cat lady Hinata. Dang, I mean, they're together, her and Naruto, right? Two pieces of a pod. I will give this one, actually, I'm going to have to give it a high score even though I'm making fun of it. I'm going to give it another one, which is a 7 out of 10. Definitely captures the essence of old. And if you're someone who's an artist, not all the time details supposed to represent old. Like this one, for example, it's not just a detail, but also the folds of the skin. So like right here between the nose, this starts to have more of an indent. You start getting the crow's feet over here. All of the things that are clear just becomes more pronounced. And also everything starts to sag. Everything starts to become more like you're almost melting in a way. So when you're younger, things are clean and tight. But as you get older, it starts to sag. You see, like, let me give you another example. See, I'm going to show you guys close up. So imagine like this. See how you end up looking older when things start to look more sagging down. And all of a sudden your voice sounds like you have peanut butter in your mouth. But yeah, so just keep that in mind to capture that old essence. Look at that. Hinyo. Yeah, that looks kind of creepy. So from that upwards angle, right? It's really hard to draw, by the way, when you try to draw something from an upward angle. In AI, you captured that. You definitely captured that. And brownie points for having her hair be gray. Because that'll look weird if her hair is blonde. Why? If you're 80 years old. Yes, you can dye your hair. But who are you fooling? All right? Who are you fooling? At that point, just embrace it. Like what she's doing. She's embracing it. She has it with class. We always got to count the fingers because AI sometimes be having like 7 or 8 fingers. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the fingers are correct on this one. Yeah, so I'm going to give this a solid 8 out of 10 just because they captured the hair being gray. All right, so good job on that AI. You don't need any credit because you're not even real. So let's continue. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that scared me. I'm not gonna lie. For some reason, because I didn't watch this. It's a pure reaction. Like, that was a jump scare. What are they doing to your boy Gaara? Like, he's like, I'm lost throughout the sands of time. Oh, I'm stuck in the desert. My sand powers has made me so dehydrated. I need some Remind me of that SpongeBob episode when the first time they encounter Sandy and they went inside of her home. It was just no water. Patrick and SpongeBob, and they went detailed on the close up. It just reminds me of that. What is this place? Oh man, SpongeBob was a classic. It just was a classic. I need water. That's what it reminds me of. So first off, all jokes aside, if this was in animation form, they will not get this detailed unless it was cartoon, like, you know, Nickelodeon, that type of stuff where they get really detailed. There's some scenes where it's just a still frame and it's not moving, so it looks really creepy and uncanny. It just gives me that feeling. But since it's anime, this makes absolutely no sense. All right. The closest that I could see with this is if they decided to make a different art style with Naruto and go the 3D route rather than hand-drawn animation 2D. But it looks like a horror film. They will not get this detail with the wrinkles and the lights and shadows. Very, very creepy. So this is a good example of too much detail, right? So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to unfortunately have to give this one a 4 out of 10. If it had less wrinkles, less lights and shadows, and less of the textures that's going on here, like this is unnecessary. Why is there shadows here and all this little crazy textures going on? Just less of that would have gave it a higher score. Other than that, everything looks like Gara. So yeah. No, this actually is the best looking character, Tenten. I could definitely see her even as a still frame if this was her like in some Boruto thing, they all grown and then now these characters from Naruto are old. I can see that. This looks very believable. So I'm gonna give this one a solid 10 out of 10, especially with the hair being. Why is it that they capture it properly when someone had blonde hair that they make it white, but all the other hair colors are like, nope, keeping it the same. Even with Sakura, like why is the hair pink? No, make it white or very, very pale pink. I don't know this character, but let's just go by what we're seeing here. It seems as if the wrinkles don't really make too much sense. You could still see the youth right here, which is throwing me off because the eyes should be a little bit more droopy. Just because this is a good example of just because you add details around the eyes and around the size of the nose right here, that doesn't make it an old person. This person looks more like this person is infected rather than they're old. There's a huge difference between that and how she looks here. This looks more believable of an old person compared to this one. You look infected, all right? So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna have to give this one a solid 2 out of 10. You are infected. Not old. Okay, I don't know this character. Oh, I think I do know this character actually. Okay, nah, this works. This is a good example as well. I gotta count the fingers of doom, but I don't know what's going on. AI, like you just gave up on the lines right here. Just gave up. They just don't connect. They're just like whatever. It's a part of her skin. She's just like this blends in. Anyway, it's white hair. I'm assuming it's white. Let's just say it's white. You see how it's not that much detail, but you can still tell that she is old. So you don't need all that detail to show that it's an old person. So yes, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this one a solid 8 out of 10. Jesus, Satoshi, come on. They wouldn't go this hard of making Natashi that wrinkly old. Again, it's the same thing with Gara. Too much detail and lights and shadows. Like, stop. Too much. Don't even look like Naruto art style at this point. He looks so depressed. But he always looked like that. So on scale 1 to 10, I'm going to give this one a 5 out of 10. Just because I like the capture is given, but too much detail. It's supposed to be in a screenshot as if this is an animation rather than it's a still frame of an artwork. What is this person melting? Are they decaying in front of my eyes? This don't look like an old person. This looks like someone killed this person with some weird attack that Gaara hit him with the sands that he attacked him with, and he just in the midst of peeling off as he's dying and decaying. So Mandara, no, this is terrible. This gets a 1 out of 10. What is going on? Too detailed. This don't even look like Naruto art style. What's happening? No. Yeah, this gets a 2 out of 10. Very detailed, which is again we're taking it based upon the reference of Naruto. If this was something else, I would have been like, this looks absolutely amazing if it's his own different character. But judging by what is based upon the subject matter, the reference is based on, no, 2 out of 10. Jiraiya, that looks good. That looks good. I mean, Jiraiya was already older, but not old, but still, like, that looks good. My only issue, again, just doesn't like Naruto art style. It looks like a whole different art style. Like, it reminds me of, like, the 90s detailed anime rather than Naruto. So, it's going to ding a few points for that. So, I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10. See, that looks more like Naruto's art style right here, Tsunade. You see the difference? Not so detailed, but it still looks like it's a screenshot of it being animated. Compared to this one here, it's like, nah, man. Nah, too detailed. All right? Like some berserk type of level of detail. Like, nah. That just doesn't remind me of Naruto style. That's all. All right, so let's see. Is it right? Let's go back to this. Yeah. This here gets a solid 8 out of 10. How they had to. This don't look nothing like Naruto style, man. This looks like some horror, thriller, horror film. Like, what is this? A zombie? A vampire? No. Thumbs down. 0 out of 10. No. Now, you see, that looks more like the Naruto art style. You see that? Compared to this hunk of junk. But the biggest issue here is they don't understand, AI don't understand the detail folds that represents someone that's old. This makes no sense. Why is the bag so thick that it just goes right here, then it goes right here? This looks more like someone is infected rather than they're old. All right, so no, this just doesn't work. But the art style of it works for Naruto, but the old age capture is poo-poo to the foo. Poo-poo to the second power. So speaking of second power, this gets a 2 out of 10. And that's it. Okay, so let's put back the background music. And let me give you guys my favorite ones. This is one of my favorites. This is good, Tsunade. So far, a lot of the favorites are the females than the males. This, spectacular. This looks good too. Even though I was making fun of this one works. This one works for the males. Yeah, definitely works. As well as Rock Lee. And that's pretty much it. So share your thoughts down below. And no, I am not going to draw them as old people. I'm not. But if you want to learn how to draw old people, I could do a drawing tutorial. Just let me know down below, all right? And speaking of character designs, just again, there are suggestions of any characters you guys want me to design in the future down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.